I like the way that comes on. Hey, everybody, how are you? Welcome to today. What a great day this is. It's Wednesday and it's summer. And so I'm going to hang out with you today with my man Sam. This is Aaron. And this is our different new offering. It's called entitled 90 Days of Summer. Um, this is motivated by last year's 31 Days of Wellness, which we deemed that July of last year would be 31 Days of Wellness. And so many great things happened during that period of time, Sam. Um, I began walking. I got up to 7 miles a day. Amanda did a lot of things with nutritional meals. Others got into exercise. Some people got into some real serious harm reduction with some things. People changed medication. It was just so read books. There was so many great things that happened during that 31 days of wellness, Sam. And so what we looked at, and you were part of the process, how do we extend that this year? And so instead of 31 days of wellness, we're talking about 90 days of summer, July through the 1st of July through the 30th of September. Just being able to take these summer months, and create just this wonderful journey of wellness and recovery. Sam, you've done a little bit of traveling this summer. You've had family down. You and I are both from Philadelphia, which makes you a great guy. Um, the summer means so much to us, right? Historically, we're talking about water plugs and we're talking about splash parties and cookouts, right? We're talking about the music and so forth, and things that at times, Sam, we don't attribute to wellness. We don't attribute to recovery. But now that that's our groove, man, those things become important to us. Sam, talk to me about summer. Talk to everybody about summer and what that looks like for you, as far as where you are in your life journey right now.
Hey man, thanks for having me on first of all. But summer's my time. It's my favorite season. At one point in my life, I moved out west to San Diego so I could stay in the summer season all year round. And it was beautiful. I just feel like for me in the summer, um, just the weather, being able to be outside all the time. I'm just one of those people who I'd rather have it be 100 degrees than 32 degrees. You know what I mean? I'd rather be sweating than bundled up. And being able to just wear flip flops and shorts and just enjoy the parks. Around here in Charlotte. I moved here last year during the pandemic, so I couldn't do much else besides go out and explore the parks and some trails and lakes and outdoor stuff, because that was the reality last year. That's what I had to work with, and luckily for me, that's what I love to do. So, in summer, that's kind of my thing, man. I like to I skate, rollerblade.
Do
Uh,
you? Okay.
yeah, kind of old school, but I just found a pair of skates at a thrift shop last year, and so I got back into that. We have beautiful greenways around here, and of course, if you know me, I got two dogs, so
Mhm.
so I bring them with me out to the parks and hiking and stuff like that. But and also summer for me, like you were saying when you were introducing us, that I went back to Philly to see my family. Um, I usually don't do that in the summer. I usually do that in the winter. So I forgot how beautiful it is up there. When everything's bloomed and the trees. I haven't seen it like that for years because the only time I go home is Christmas. So that was nice. And I just had some family down here, and we went to the Lotta Plantation. And and you're right. There was a lot of things that we don't necessarily, or that I don't necessarily think about as wellness, but then when I stop to think, it is, being outside, getting away from the city, all the noise, the people, and just being able to breathe. and clear my mind, because that's what being out there at these parks and out on the trails hiking, that's what it does for me. It gives me time to slow down and just kind of be at peace, with myself and the world. So yeah, I mean,
Mine for me is the reverse. And everybody, this is 90 Days of Summer. This is our initial offering, and we'll be doing this every Wednesday at 11:30. It's not going to always look like me and Sam, right? We've got so many things planned for these 90 days on Wednesdays about summer. And people are just talking about so many different things of wellness and recovery. So everybody stay tuned, join in. We'll be doing some things in person here at 2224 The Plaza at Promise Resource Network. And we're doing some Facebook Lives. We got a lot planned. This is our first one. Just wanted to launch. Sam, for me, is sort of the reverse. And I want to attribute a lot of this to the last year with COVID-19. I haven't seen my family, my sisters. I've seen family. I've been with my family in Atlanta, my first cousins and family. Actually officiated a funeral of my first cousin back in September, and moving forward, I've been there a couple of times to see family and check in, but I haven't seen my sisters. And my sisters and my daughters, they're so much of my blood flow, right? My heart pumps for them. And so I'll be going to see them at the end of this month. So I'm just leaving my daughter's not too long ago, Sam, and she was watching a show on Hulu, and the show is called Soulful Summer, the Soulful Summer, and it's talking about. There's Lisa Kay. It's talking about the summer of 1969, where highly publicized and in our national DNA is the summer of Woodstock, right? So we have this big concert, this iconic concert at Woodstock. Simultaneously, a concert was happening in Harlem, and it was called the Harlem Cultural Festival, and it was 6 days, and it included some of the biggest acts of that time also that was not at Woodstock. B.B. King, the Staple Singers, Sly and the Family Stone, David Ruffin. It included a lot of big people. 300,000 Black people attended that concert, Sam. And I was just watching it not too long ago, and it did something to me. And what it did was, it was hot. It was over 100 degrees there, and the people showed up because that's what we did in the summer. For me, it's not about getting away from that clamor. It's about being in it. And I've missed it for over a year. My inspiration comes from so many places, but one of my inspirations comes from being in an urban area, being able to smell the stench of trash not being picked up, being able to watch children play in water plugs and water hydrants, Sam, being able to hear the noises of the city, the buses and so forth, right? And for me, I really, truly yearn to get back. And so this summer, I'm going to spend some time in Philly. I'm going to spend some time in DC. I'm going to spend some time in Baltimore. I'm going to go back to places that I love with people that I love that I've not been connected to for a while, because there's an energy for me culturally. There's an energy for me ethically, and there's an energy for me spiritually that comes from those environments and those settings. And honestly, I have missed them. And they have so much to do with how I present and land my plane here, right? Because those have been inspirations that have helped build me. And part of this, everybody, with the 90 Days of Summer, is the diversity of wellness, and where we all find that oomph from the summer, the oomph that the summer gives us in our wellness. Our partner is on, my partner in crime, Lisa Kay, and we are truly night and day as far as what that looks like, what summer looks like. Lisa, we know you hate the cold. We know you hate the winter. You love the summer. Talk to us about not just summer, but this summer for you.
This summer. Well, this summer looks a lot different than last summer. Last summer we were home. We had no options but to dig deep. I missed everybody because I am a people person, but I also have that side of me. I'm a loner too. And when it comes to things doing outside, that's what I'm about. So last summer, I had I didn't have to work any guilt about working in my yard. Didn't have to make trips to Charlotte because I lived in South Carolina because we were working from home. So I could knock my work out, do the things I needed to do, and still be able to hop in and out of the house doing like I could get on Zooms and nobody could tell I had dirt under my fingernails because I'd been digging and planting. That was just like cool as hell to me. But this summer is different because guess what? As of yesterday, we are now open. So I am working mainly back in Charlotte. So summer for me, I'm having to really go back to how I maneuvered my summers and travel because I travel 50 miles one way to work. So I spend a lot of time on the road. So I have to now rethink about how I'm going to do the things that I love to do and keep up. So I plant flowers. Um, I try to plant things nobody else plants. I try to rescue plants. I go to Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, and I'm looking for things that are croaking. They were, they used to cost $10 for like this one bulb, and because it's croaking, they're literally about to pay you to take it out of there. So that's my recovery garden. And so I buy perennials, so they'll come back next year. So I don't get to, it's kind of like our own recovery, right? Where sometimes it takes time for all the seeds that were planted into us to start growing. And then all of a sudden we're just the most beautiful, amazing thing ever. And so that's what my recovery garden is. I just rescue plants. So now that I can go into Lowe's and Home Depot and Walmart without standing in long lines, because they would only let so many people in at a time, I can go when I want to. Now I can go and start rescuing plants and bulbs and planting them. So my summer is just going to be maneuvered here. I'm still going to do the same things. I just don't have as much freedom as I had last summer. But it's good and bad because I'd much rather, to me, the most beautiful flowers are my people.
Yes.
And without them in my life, just the flowers that I plant don't mean as much because I can't share it. I can't talk about it. I just get to see it for myself. So what is something that you just don't get to share? So this year I just got to maneuver a little differently. I'm still going to do the same things. It's just different.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm with you on that, Lisa. Just being able to move, doing the same things, but moving differently, right? And I dug what you said about. I really enjoyed what you said about the recovery garden because ours is people. And last weekend, Sid and I had the pleasure. For you who don't know Sydney, you're missing something in life. Trust me. For Sid and I we was at a cookout for our people, right? The people we love, the people we serve, the people who are in marginalized communities, but whose resilience is just so rewarding and so refreshing. Anyway, we did a cookout and hung out with another group of partners. And listen, summer started for me. They put me back on the grill. It's been so many years, right? And so as I flipped the burgers and I flipped the hot dogs and kept the coals going, and we fixed the plates, talking to our folks in line. It just felt like summer in Fairmount Park in Philadelphia. It just felt so good. And it was so inspiring for me, and actually plugged in my battery, charged my battery, right, to be able to do some of these things. We want to be able to do some things on site at 22, 24, and we're going to do some things in our 90 days of summer that won't include the virtual. Sam, last week when we were putting calendar together, you talked about so many outdoor things about summer. Sam, what is it about outdoors for you, summertime?
Man, I don't know. It's just I've always been like that, and I feel like when I'm inside, I don't feel the same. I feel contained when I'm inside. I feel kind of like I don't like being in the dark. You know what I mean? Like the sun and the warm air. The breeze, feeling the grass on my feet. It just kind of just brings this just good feeling, this peacefulness to myself, and I try to do as much as I can outside, try to limit my time inside as much as possible.
Yeah. Jennifer says hello, and Jennifer says that saving the lost plants is beautiful, Lisa. And you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Jennifer. For Lisa, it's those plants with those roots in dirt, and for me, it's the plants of people whose roots are in the experiences of life. But it's the same principle, right? And actually, I have to say that Lisa and Sam are so good at what they do with people because nature has taught them how to do that. And our people, Bonnie Lee Holly is hollering to us and saying hi to the beautiful people. I think she's talking to the three of us, right? And so one of the things that I want to consider is for anybody that's listening, that you begin to put a daily list together. You can stretch it out 90 days, but as someone says, just for today works, right? And so let's figure out what summer can actually do for our wellness, what summer brings to our wellness and recovery, because we know we have a lot of heat. We're going to have a lot of rain, right? We're going to have those days when those storms come through. How do we now shape our lives in such a way that we can benefit from both? Just start thinking about it, what summer looks like. You're not going to see the same thing every week on 90 days of summer. I promise you that. You won't see the same faces. You won't hear the same thoughts, but what you will hear are people who choose to make the best out of these 90 days of summer. And so we have, if you don't mind, just this thought, right? And Lisa, I'm gonna launch it and start it off with you. Your three things, right, Lisa? Number one, your favorite place to be, right? Not just outside, your geographical place to be during the summer. I already know the answer. Secondly, your favorite summer food, right? Because we do eat differently in the summer than we do in the winter, right? So your favorite place to be in the summer, your favorite summer food, and your favorite summer music. Because there is a difference between the two. So Lisa, you give us yours first.
So place, you said, what's the rules around the place?
There's no rule, just something geographical, because you'll say outside. And so we need something a little specific. Give us something on a map.
Okay, so I guess my favorite place would be to spend time on Lake Wiley, in Lake Wiley, South Carolina. For me, that's where I learned to swim and water ski and spent the most precious childhood memories there with my grandfather, my cousins, those kind of things. I just kind of hung around this area for the rest of my life. So Lake Wiley, that body of water has a lot of meaning to me. So I love being out there. Of course, for other reasons too. Love that sun and water stuff. I love to water ski and swim and all those things. My favorite food for the summer would be, which is really my favorite food all year round, is chicken salad. So I could eat that, but it really is because it's light and it's not so heavy. So I love and watermelon and cantaloupe and all that good stuff. What was the other thing?
So the other thing was your music of the summer. What is it about the summer that gets you like this?
Well, kind of goes with my favorite place on the lake. So I'm a country girl. So I do enjoy certain country music during the summertime, but I think my favorite would be that I would most enjoy out on the lake is that brings me back to a lot of most of my fun in my life are on the beach or on the lake. So I love beach music. Something that I love when I'm out on the water having fun. I like something that I can have fun with other people. And most of the folks that I hang with like the beach and the water. And so we can kind of jam with the beach, do some shagging on the boat, just being silly. those kind of things. So I think that would probably be my favorite summertime, just because I could join other people in it. But I love all music all the time, so that was a hard one.
All right.
Yeah, that's me.
Cool. Thank you. So before I get to my man, Sam, Roberta is on. And Roberta says, I love outdoors in the yard. She says, I love Lake Wally. She's talking about Jersey and Crystal Lake and just being at her aunt's house during the summer months. And she loves chicken salad, lots of fruit and veggies. Roberta, thanks for coming on. And we love you. And we got folks from Pennsylvania. We got folks from New York. And so we just want to be able to share. Sam, my man, same things, right? The geographical location that Summer says, yeah, Sam, come hang out. And then they'll answer our questions for us.
Well, I grew up going down to the Jersey Shore, around Atlantic City, more like southern Jersey. But I think, the beach, that's the main part, but I also like to have some palm trees around now, so down south on the beach, or that South Carolina or Florida, probably be my favorite place. The second thing, my favorite food, that's a tough one, but I agree with Roberta. I like lots of fruit, especially pineapple and anything that can go on the grill. I like to grill pineapple, burgers, hot dogs, and different vegetables, of course, just, because you're outside when you're grilling. And my favorite music, I listen to a lot of Bob Marley, a lot of Ben Harper, little band called Slightly Stupid. I just like that kind of, relaxing island type music. That's for me, on the beach, hanging out, listening to some Ben Harper's. Great time for me.
Sam, that's my guy, Lisa. That's my guy, Sam. I flow with the two of you in that I love water. And this is from a person that can't swim. I love water. I love it. It doesn't matter the body. And I've lived on the West Coast and I've lived on the East Coast. I've been to the Gulf of Mexico. For me, in the summer, there's no place I'd rather be. Well, the two places I'd rather be is Philadelphia and all of its grit and grime, but Atlantic City. I love Atlantic City. And the water on the west, the Pacific Ocean, is just so much cleaner. But I love the gritty, grimy. I just love Atlantic City. I always have, always will. And on summer nights, I would rather be there. My favorite food are the melons, right? Those who know me know I love watermelon. I think I need to go to Betty Ford watermelon rehab. I love watermelon. I can do it every day, all day, and cantaloupe. But in the evenings, coming from Philly, I miss cheesesteaks. And I can promise you on July 30th, I will have a cheesesteak. I can guarantee you that. And that would be it for me. I could have melons all day long, and then at night, get into a succulent, delicious cheesesteak. Now, the reason I asked this is, one, just for the fun of it. But secondly, as Sam and I talked before you came on, Lisa, many times people do not see these things as connected to wellness. It's exercise and harm reduction and my meds and my rest and my sleep. And though all of those things are important, those things that stir our soul are just as or more important than those other things. Those things that we find passion in, those things that we find pleasure in, those things that sort of we wink at and say, hey, I want to do that. Those are the things that we often forget as we're trying to look at these big pictures of wellness through our philosophies and the strategies. In reality, sometimes, gang, it's the most simple thing that you can think of, right? Sometimes it's just putting your feet up and having something cool to drink with an umbrella in it. Sometimes it is the simple things, right, Sam? Like walking your dogs and just having fun with them. Sometimes, Lisa, right, is hanging out with little Max and just sitting in the yard getting it done. What we want to do with the 90 days of summer, everybody, we want to simplify this thing. We don't want it to be that deep. One of the things I'm thinking about is blowing up some water balloons out here and 22, 24 and just having a fun time next week, like for real, for real. And Lisa, you help us with a Facebook Live and we get some water balloons and just have a good time. Sam, you down with that?
I'm good, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like us as a community, anybody and everybody that's listening, and please continue to share. We're back. We had our sabbatical. We're back. Let's talk about this collectively. I'll be talking about it with staff, getting thoughts, getting ideas that our 90 days of summer, our 90 days of wellness, and that wellness is just not that deep. Roberta says that she doesn't like a lot of bread in the summer. Me either, Roberta. That's why it's one cheesesteak a day. Meat and veggies and fruits and little to no cheese. I got you, Roberta. So here's what I want to ask, Lisa, because we're not going to hang out a lot today. This is our introduction, right? We just want everybody to know we're here. This is where we're going to be. Different faces will be here, different approaches to wellness in summer, different days of enjoyment. We ought to call it the 90 days of summer enjoyment. Lisa, out of all the things that you want to do or you're thinking about doing this summer, what's the one thing that you have decided this summer, I'm not doing that? Sam's thinking, so you go first, Lisa, because he's thinking. What's the one thing you have decided, you know what, this summer, I ain't doing that.
I ain't doing that this summer.
I know mine, so I'm cheating, but go ahead.
Oh gosh, the one thing I'm not going to do. Gosh, I know. Okay, the one thing I'm not going to do this summer is I'm not going to procrastinate around my weekends. That means I'm going to be more intentional about my time off instead of just willy-nilly it. And then because, like you said, sometimes it's really hot here or it's raining. If in the summer, for me, if I'm not proactive about activities, if I plan on going somewhere and being outside, if I don't put some thought in it, it'll get in front of me. And once I have that thought about, yeah, today would have been a great day, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And so there's been a lot of lost time for me with my weekends. So I'm not going to procrastinate. I'm going to plan out, like I plan out my week at work, I'm going to start looking ahead and planning out my weekends so I really can get the best bang for my buck while it's warm and the sun's out and the days are longer. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Not do. Just procrastinate.
All right. I ride that plane with you. Mine's just similar. Sam, my man, what about you? What is it for this summer? I'm not doing this summer.
I like what Lisa said. I think because I do the same thing. I think about like, oh, I want to go to this lake that's an hour away or whatever, and then I push it back. Well, I'll go next weekend because I don't really feel like driving. So I agree with that. But I think the one thing I'm not going to let myself do this summer is get a full body sunburn, because I do that at least once a year, and I just can't move at the end of the day or something. So I'm gonna do my best to actually put suntan lotion on for once.
All right, I wasn't expecting that, but okay. I've decided I'm not staying in the house. Like last year with my whole COVID paranoia, I hit and miss, but I spent too much time in the house. And there is a wonderful world to explore. Great relationships, some intentional time spent. I'm out the house this summer. I'm back into this love of albums. I shop for albums for my daughter and her husband. And that is one thing that I want to make sure I'm spending a lot of time in music stores. I want to spend a lot of time on the road to be able to connect. I want to get down to Florida, to Ocala, Florida, to see my father's family. So there's just so many things and COVID allowed me an opportunity to save a little money. So I'm in position to do some of these things. And I want to be able to do those things. So I'm refusing to stay in the house. I'm refusing to stay in the house this summer. I'm also refusing not to bless the people I love. I'm going to intentionally spend this summer saying, yo, I love you. Here you go. Whether it's my time, effort, gifts, whatever the case may be. This summer is going to be really good for me, Aaron Wells, and it's going to be healthy. It's going to feed my soul and my spirit. And I am just encouraging everybody to take these 90 days and do you in a way that the things that do not enhance your wellness, either put them in the trash or put them on the shelf, and all of those things that make you you and help you feel good about you, damn it, do them. just do them. If they make you feel good about you, do them. Close your ears off to all the voices that tell you why you don't deserve to enjoy you every day and feel well and good about you. This is our first 90 days of summer. Two of my very special people on my squad hanging out. Erin would have been here, Erin with a P, but she's doing some work and she's helping some people. She's doing what we do in our recovery garden of people. She's making sure that it's nurtured and watered and taken care of. Sam, give us some last words as we, of course, put not the plane, this is summer, as we put the boat in the on the dock. Tell us his last words.
I think, man, just get out there, stay open-minded, try something new. If you don't ever get out in the woods and walk for a little, try that. Just try something new this summer, and enjoy the weather on a nice day that we don't have rain. That's what I would suggest. All right.
Lisa K, sidekick, partner in crime, give us your last words.
I'm right with Sam. Try something different. Open up your house. Yeah, open up your house. Let the sun shine in. But guess what happens when we do that? We see things we hadn't seen in a while, like dust. That's okay. Embrace your dust. Let the sun in, because the sun allows us to see the things that if we clean up, work on, not only do they look more beautiful, but inside we feel more beautiful. And to me, that's what the sun represents. A lot of people hate that. When the sun comes in, they say, oh, you can see every speck of dust, everything I haven't done all winter long. Well, guess what? Let the sun come in. Let it represent letting the sun come in your heart. Try something different. Clean up your messes so you don't have to worry about them anymore. Get the help you need with it. Reach out to PRN if you need to. Call our warm line, whatever you need to do. But let that sun shine. Don't be afraid to let the sun reveal what's out there so you can do the things you need to do to be well.
Listen, Lisa, you're always next level in us. You're always taking us next level, and we love it. Bonnie Lee says that she's out of here, but she said that I am opening up my heart. Oh, man. She said, thanks. This is some good stuff. I'm glad that I'm not just glad that we decided 90 days of summer, and actually it's the two of you that helped get this thing going, but that is the three of us that's actually launching this because of where the hearts and the spirits are. I just also want you to know, Lisa, spending time with my daughter a few moments ago, part of what I was watching in the Harlem Cultural Festival, The Fifth Dimension was on. This was back in 1969, and they were singing The Age of Aquarius from the play Hair. And I don't know if you remember the song, but the second part of the song says, let the sun shine in. And so you saying that, and I'm just hearing that a few minutes ago. Absolutely, absolutely. Roberta says she's going to start dating again this week. Way to go. Don't forget I'm your big brother. You call me first. Let me counsel you. But Roberta says she's going to do that. Why not, Roberta? Why not? Why not? Absolutely. Listen, for me, I just want to be able to say that this is absolutely great. I'm looking forward to whatever comes next. You'll probably see some different faces, maybe the same faces plus, maybe the same faces minus, but we're going to be doing this different. We'll be doing a lot of Facebook Live so that we can get outside and do some things. Lisa's going to take care of that and make sure that happens for us. But we're going to have some fun. Send your ideas, send your thoughts in. Make sure that you're checking in for those who are still virtual. Check in with our welcome desk. Okay. It's Monday through Friday, 704-390-7709. Call Kim, say, hey, look, I have some ideas for the 90 days of summer. Kim will make sure that we get those. You call Kim, and please, as Lisa mentioned, our warm line, free, confidential, 24/7. Yeah, we're getting out. We're a little more open. We're doing some different things. We're not quarantined, but some of us are still having days where I need somebody to talk to, need some supports. 833-390-7728. The supports are there. People with lived experience, certified peer support specialists waiting to talk with you and to hear about your day, to share their lived experience so that today can be an absolutely wonderful day for you as we walk through these 90 days of summer. Sam, thank you. I love you. Lisa K, thank you. I love you. See everybody next Wednesday at 11:30. Let's have 90 days of summer that are absolutely memorable and that are absolutely great. I holla.